We're happy to welcome in now Rai Witherow. She is one of the tarot readers who will be part of the Tea and Tarot event Saturday night at Basement Transitions. Welcome, Rai. It's nice to have you here in the blue couches.
Thank you so much for having me.
So talk a little bit about tarot card reading. Explain for those who might not be familiar.
Definitely. So tarot is actually a specialized form of what's referred to as cartomancy. And cartomancy is any type of divination or answer seeking through the use of cards. So tarot is a very specialized, specific style. It's going to be the Rider-Waite deck most likely. So that's going to be 78 cards, your major and minor arcana. But cartomancy, which has been used for centuries, has existed so long as cards have existed. So what's really fun about tea and tarot is, despite the name being tarot for the alliteration, we actually have a lot of different readers that rely on other styles of cartomancy.
Okay.
Myself specifically, I love a good tarot deck. It's what I was trained on. It's what's very classical, but I use what's referred to as an oracle deck. So it's going to be like a 58 card kind of deck, very different. I have other readers there that have specialized like ancestral decks. Some are based specifically upon like angel numbers and things of that nature.
Okay. Now, when did you become interested in this, and where you mentioned training? Where do you get training for this?
Everyone's a little different. I'm very fortunate. I come from a line of readers. My mother was a reader. My grandmother was a reader. I, however, have been reading professionally and serving the Erie area as a reader and an educator for we're going on about a decade now, actually.
Okay. Is this a learned skill, or is this something that is innate and a special gift with you?
I think that tarot, like any form of divination and the craft, so to speak, is like art. So there is some skill you need to learn, just like everyone. If we were saying painters, everyone needs a little bit of training, but there is innate intuition, guidance, inspiration, and passion. So I feel like I've taught classes on tarot and cartomancy. I've taught classes on all of the craft, honestly, but you really can just find your way through it and find your own path, so long as you're willing to be patient with yourself and those around you.
Yeah, interesting. What kind of information is given to someone who comes to you?
So I refer to myself as an ancestral reader. I also am a conversationalist reader. Every reader is going to be different. Everyone's going to do things differently, which is why these events like Tea and Tarot, it's nice to have a slew of readers available. For me, I refer to my cards as a tableau. I like to believe that I can connect with ancestral wisdom and guidance through conversation and just open communication. And it's all Jungian archetypal psychology. So I always tell folks, even if you don't believe in the other side, you don't believe in higher power, what have you, it's still designed to allow the subconscious to pull forward information. So for a lot of folks, they'll come in asking me for guidance on a situation. And I hate to spoil it for most folks. Usually you know what needs to happen. You know the answer to your problem, but we have to find a way for the brain to safely, cohesively, and comfortably come to that conclusion. So through the tableau and through Jungian archetypal psychology, we can allow the brain to come to that conclusion in a way that's more acceptable.
Very interesting. May I ask, generally speaking, what do you charge in order to do a reading for someone? Is it based on the length of time that you spend with someone?
It really does depend on the reader. So I know for Tea and Tarot specifically, we're going to have kind of like a flat rate. It was like $15 for every reader for every single reading to kind of keep competition low. But when you have folks doing things like myself in private or at other events, those things do vary. Like personally, I charge around $30 for a 20-30 minute reading, but I also don't believe in charging people when they truly need guidance and answers. So for a lot of folks, it's a sliding scale, or just a do something kind for someone afterwards.
We're starting to run out of time, but I'm just wondering, do you ever find yourself in a situation where you're reading cards and then you are seeing something and you hate to have to tell the person what you're seeing?
Definitely.
And but do you tell them?
Within reason. I do on occasion as a medium connect what I believe is with something on the other side that is probably unsavory, but it's like therapy. You don't always want to tell someone something that is ethically unkind or ethically unrespectable to their person.
Very interesting. It's a complicated gift that you're sharing, But again, that's Tea and Tarot. It is Saturday night at Basement Transmissions, and there's going to be a lot of professionals like you who are reading the cards and speaking with everybody and giving everyone your time.
With a seance to follow.
With a seance to follow. I love it. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Rai.
This was lovely.
Yeah, it's nice to have you. Come back anytime. We'll talk longer about it.
We will.